I'm just gonna read it from the page. I'll be a robot. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit anymore.
My name's CJ Simonson, and you're watching Hot Ones, the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today I'm joined by my wife,
Tapley Eaton.
and we're here 9 years to the day. Not in real, but you know, as you're watching this, since we did our 1 year anniversary video. And after a lot of bullying and pushing and pulling by outside forces, here we sit with a gauntlet of wings.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
All right, welcome to Hot Ones. Should you go?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is easy.
We said that last time, and it was like,
Well, this works. All right. Having done this 9 years ago, as fans of the show, in its infancy, season 1 or maybe 2, how has hot sauce infiltrated our lives since then?
yeah, I mean, I think when we started watching this show, we were like casually interested in the idea of hot sauce, and we wanted to use that first anniversary video really as a conduit to like introduce each other to our significant, or to other people significantly in our lives, family, friends. I'm from Arizona, obviously. You're from Boston. And so it made a lot of sense, like as a format show, as a question show, to kind of like, I guess, get to know each other more, because there were obviously a lot of questions within that first video that were really about like who we were. But I don't think we really knew that like over 9 years, like we would become hot sauce people, some of that being just genuine interest, probably more on my end, and then also just like the projection of what people have onto us. Like we frequently get gifts of hot sauce, like people are always giving us hot sauces. I mean, like we had these 9 of these 10 sitting outside of our fridge for the past couple of weeks, but then in addition to that, I think we probably have anywhere from 15 to 20 that like don't make it into our fridge because we don't have the space for it. And like most of those are more on this end of the hot sauce scale, because that's where we sit. It's not like we just are regularly ripping off like the last dab on like breakfast burritos, but like
I mean, you have.
I have, and I will again, but like I think broadly speaking, you know, we've been to hot sauce conventions, we've been to hot sauce stores, you know, like our reputation has begun to precede us in probably better ways and worse ways, depending on how you want to look at it. And so I think that you know, as we're sitting here doing this again, whether or not that's a good idea or not, I think you know, Hot Ones has very much been, maybe not the brand, but the hot sauce aspect of it in particular has like very much been an ingratiating aspect of our relationship.
Yeah, I do always think it's funny. My dad is always like, well, CJ introduced you to hot sauce. And I'm like, well, actually, we kind of got into it together. Like, you maybe liked a little bit, and I really didn't know much. But after Hot Ones, we kind of both dove in together.
Lori Simonson likes some spicy food, but Rob Simonson would never touch the stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely not something I grew up with. This was the one we were the most excited for. Angry goat pepper.
That was really good.
It was actually quite good. I'm going to toss up the softball now. Rank the members of BTS, because as I was making questions for this, I think a lot of the thing I considered was like what has changed about your interest in our lives in the 9 years since this has all happened. And this will live as a living document on the internet where, you know, BTS are famously not a popular thing, so I figured you should have to rank them.
Amazing, okay. Well, I'm glad we went straight for the jugular there. Ranking feels mean, because, like, you know, they're all great, they're all special.
That's tough.
And that feels mean. All right, we're just gonna go off the dome. RM, Jungkook, V, Suga, Jin, Hobie. No, and Jimin. Oh my God, I'm a terrible person. Jimin is probably in there between Suga and Jin.
BTS Army, you can find her online.
Yeah, okay.
It's like at Tapley.
I'm gonna get murdered now. You've just gotten me doxxed for that.
We do live together, so we both doxed each other.
Cool. Yeah. All right, amazing.
The kind of toughness on the outside of these wings is going to get to be a problem, I'm pretty sure.
I know.
Yep. That was a lot of skin you just took in.
Yep. This one's not that hot.
Yeah, but I'm saying. People have seen us vomit having eaten the back part of it, so or heard it at least, so I'm just speculatively putting it out there.
Having not touched the milk yet, I feel like I'm good.
Amen.
Okay. All right, as many others have experienced in this past year living in LA, there was a moment where we both had bags packed in case we had to evacuate. Can you tell us what are a few of the items that were packed and ready to go for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. That whole time was strange because you just do a value assessment of every single thing in your home and go like, can I replace that? And how much does that thing actually even matter? And honestly, the stuff I grabbed was mostly, I have a number of keepsake boxes, stuff from our wedding and from our honeymoon, a number of yearbooks and photo albums. Like, it was all that stuff. Like, I did not grab anything of like particular like financial importance like at all throughout that whole thing. Like, everything I think we were putting in that car was like stuff that it was like, if this is gone, it's gone for fucking ever. And I would imagine that was the same for you too. I mean, we were in the same packing stages, and it was a haze because like there was a brief moment where it really felt like, oh shit, we're gonna have to, like, if the fire jumps the 101, we're fucked. So we gotta grab our stuff and it's out.
Would you have like a specific item in those keepsake boxes, or like a specific 3 items that would be fun to highlight?
I don't know if there's anything more specific. I mean, my grandmother and my mom made photo albums from when we were kids, and like so many of those photos do not exist digitally, and many of them have been cut up in ways that I don't even know if they would, if you scanned them, they would look insane now. So there was a lot of that stuff. I don't know, like there's stuff in the like actual keepsake boxes that are like she'll never see this. Like I go back through and I keep like letters, I'll keep notes, like I'll keep all of that stuff. It all exists like with ticket stubs and a bunch of other stuff. And like, I know there's like a note from like that I got in middle school from this girl, Chelsea Kelly. Like that's in there. Like, but like why? Like every time I go through it, I'm like, but you know, I don't know, like when someone goes through the time to like make the card do the thing, like it stays in there, so.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
See, this is when I'm going to start like taking smaller bites though, you know.
This is the point where one of us goes, wow, this one's a really good one. And then they like highlight it because it's a hot one's hot sauce, and they're like, oh, we'll sell another 50 bottles of this.
I mean, it is really good.
Yeah, that's all right.
Should I be eating more?
You can be eating as much as you want. So one of the things that's changed a lot in the 9 years since we did this is like your personal interest, but also what I would say is like a cultural writ large interest in fantasy romance novels. Not only did you write 2, but that are like in the process of being edited and possibly being published, but like you saw Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, and is it Carissa Broadbent? Is that her name?
I like Carissa Broadbent, yeah.
A lot of people, I mean, this is like clearly a phase. Like at some point, like this will have run its course, and there will be kind of a new shift. But like there has been lots of like cultural dialogue, I think, about how the literary world is very focused on like young women, millennial women, those people getting back into reading. Like, what would be your thoughts on like what that ecosystem is now looking like, as someone who has both written something that fits into that genre, but also watched it kind of like literally in the 10 years since we've done this, like go from what was probably a novelty to what is extremely mainstream?
Yeah, I would say it is both like having a really big moment, and it also has always kind of had a big moment. Like we, especially in YA, like it's always going to kind of be there. It is like the escapism. I think it's the escapism of it. Like it's always been there. A lot of people have always read these genres. My mom loved like historical fiction. You know, it all kind of runs in the same, you know, veins. And I do think it's having a really big moment because TikTok has made it a big thing publicly. I think it's always had its, you know, its prevalence behind the scene, but it is really having its much more public moment. And I do think the escapism of it is really helpful. I think like it's kind of a shitty time to be around, and it is, and I think it's always, the escapism of it is always like a great thing. But I mean, like currently living in, you know, the US where we do, while all the things that are going on, it is sometimes nice to just check out and be somewhere else. And Imagine Dragons are part of it, not the band. But to imagine that dragons are there, or the Fae, or something like that.
This one is one where it's like every time they would cut to it on the show in the like highlight thing, which I guess would have just played when we were doing this, like it like looks like shimmery and gold in ways that I was like always very intrigued by.
That feels like a step up. I feel like this is usually where like I eat hot sauces, and this is like the hotter end of what I usually do.
Yeah, a little bit good.
So I'm sure everybody wants an update. Shower sitting. You have a huge fandom at this point for people who sit in the shower. Any innovations over the past decade? And also tell us your ideal shower to sit in.
I love that like shower sitting was already going to become a part of the show like later on, and now it's coming back for a second time. Just addressing my camera. Are there any innovations? What do you mean?
Have you? I mean, like you're in a much bigger shower now.
That's true. Well, all right. Let me here.
Innovations. I'm saying what I'm saying. You run with it.
It's fine. I'll clarify a few things. The old shower that when we shot this the last time, we lived in the same building, but we were in different apartments. I couldn't really sit in either of those showers as they were tall showers. Like I'm not like the standard shower, like verticality. Like I can't. I'm simply too tall and too old to be doing that. But the shower we have now, in the place we've lived for many years now, is a longer shower. And it's not a tub shower, but like imagine that length, maybe a little bit longer. And yeah, absolutely, I'm still sitting in that bitch. And you know what? Fucking come at me in the comments. But I will say, and we'll get to it in a little bit, there were a lot of defenders, a lot of people sliding in there, being like, hey, I get it, you know what feels fucking great is like going to the gym, going there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking, like a serial killer, allow the water to like cleanse my sins. And I think that's really great. And I'll continue to do it. I used to do it when I was a kid. I don't know why, but here we are. Innovations? I don't even know what that would mean. The only innovation I can think of is like they have old people like chairs you can put down now. Now I haven't invested in one of those. That's a crazy thing to do. That would be crazy. Can you imagine if people? It's a glass shower door. Can you imagine if we had people over and they came in? They're like, why do you have a chair in your fucking like? Why? There's none of that. Like if someone were to say like, hey, we can get one of those pool lounger things and like it's just a giant steam room in the water, like that would be amazing. That's innovation. But I'm not a rich man. I don't have a large shower. And I certainly don't have pool furniture in it. So
okay, but what I'm saying is build your ideal shower. Like we have unlimited
money.
That's
a different question. And I just described
No, that's the second one.
Massive shower.
Yeah.
Massive shower, get steamy. You know what I'm out on too also, while we're just opening the floodgates, pardon the pun maybe. I don't like the shower heads where it's like built into the top of the ceiling and it's just like that, the rain ones, thank you.
Yeah.
That's not going to do a shower sitter any good, probably. I want the arc. I want the arc of the water a little bit.
You'd have to just
I can't explain why that is. It just is what I want.
You just have to blast emo music every single shower if it was a rain.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Hillary Duff can play. A little gingery. Sure. I fuck with it.
It's good. It's kind of blending with this one. Honestly, this one was hotter to me. Wow. I do like that.
As Sean would say, it's a symphony of sauces, right?
Absolutely.
So we got married 2 years ago. I think it's important to clarify, actually, the reason that we are doing the sauces that we are doing is because they come from season 22, and that was the year we got married. So when we were considering what sauces we do, in the constant keeping up with the Joneses that is this show and the sauce turnover, we figured it would be fun to memorialize doing one the year we got married. A lot of that wedding was fairly DIY. We did not have a wedding planner, and it was all from your and I's brains. But a lot of the more specific creative details, down to the wedding invites or the way that the placemats looked, all of that kind of stuff, were more literal creations that you had spent a long time like kind of building out. Now, obviously, not every person has the time, but when, I think that in the current economy of weddings, more and more DIYing together of this stuff is going to happen because just people our age don't have any money to make it happen. What would be your tips and tricks in terms of how you approach that kind of DIY wedding process?
I think you kind of nailed it on the head when you said a lot of that, like that it would be hard to do a lot of it yourself. I think a benefit for us was that This one's hot.
Yeah, it's getting over there a little
bit. Was that I just, like, I have a graphic design minor. I do a lot of art. Like, I made a lot of the stuff myself. Like, I painted the wedding invitations, and I, hand wax sealed all of that, like all that sort of stuff. And so I don't know, part of that was like, I just be creative, but also just, throw what is at the wall, throw whatever you can at the wall and see what sticks. Like, figure out what your strengths are. Like, you are much better at organizing and planning than I am, and I'm much better at the art side of things. And so that was kind of like a nice split. As a side note, I made a spreadsheet that stressed CJ out so much he wouldn't look at it because he said it was so chaotic, when in my mind it was perfectly...
I'm going to Jim Halpert the camera. It was insane.
No, it was just thorough and detailed. And so...
to the mind of a true serial killer, perhaps.
Yeah. Well, just figure out your strengths, see where you can cut corners. We lucked out with our photographer was amazing, and our florist was amazing. And
I feel like the first thing I always tell people is, like, figure out what it is that you are willing to want to spend money on, and then figure out the ways you can cut corners on the other stuff. Because, like, the first thing we did, and I think it's the most helpful advice I give to every person, and every person has said, like, oh, we went and did that, is, like, make a list of every wedding tradition. Make a list of all the stuff you've seen at every other wedding, and then go, like, fucking hate that. Don't care about that.
Neither of us care about cakes. We did not have a cake.
Didn't care about cake. Didn't care about like bouquet tosses. Didn't care about, like, there were lots of things where it was just like, this does not need to be in the fabric of the whatever tradition we're building here. And so we cut it. And then there were things that we've seen at other weddings and we were like, this is great, and we wrote it down, and then you just figure out as you go. But I do think that, like, we did our best we could to spend as little money as we could, and it looked good. So
we were lucky to cut corners where we could, because, like, I could do a lot of the art, you did all the music. Like, all we did was have an iPhone that was plugged in, but it was, like, perfectly DJ'd because CJ put together.
This was low key just a question so I can insert photos of our wedding.
Hell yeah!
You know what I mean?
I love it.
Hell yeah! All right. The nice thing is that we have like 10 years worth of videos to watch of this shit now. And so, like, I don't feel like the bites I'm taking are small.
Yeah, I feel like I'm doing pretty well.
By comparison to genuine celebrities.
That's true. When we get to the bomb, I'm going to be a nightmare. Okay. All right, other than timing and the fact that we've been together for 6 years, what made you decide to propose?
How real do you want me to get with that answer?
How real do you want to get with that answer?
I don't care. It's up to you.
You can be real.
Okay. Yeah, the proposal thing, we had not talked about. We had talked in very abstract ways about getting married, but never in a way where it was like, I think either of us thought that would actually happen for a multitude of more personal reasons. And honestly, a big part of it was we were coming out of COVID. I had just started a new job, and at that job, my boss at the time was pregnant, and her partner was in Australia and was unable to get. There had been many active conversations for what felt like 6 months about, like, how difficult it was for him to get over there. I had already been kicking the tires on that idea, even pre-COVID a little bit, but just in, like, again, fleeting ways. I think watching and kind of considering a number of things, in particular, whether or not he would even be able to get there to see the birth of their child, and they were not married, and the COVID aspects were a little nerve-wracking to me. And this was around the time that you were about to have a relatively major surgery. And I think that kind of combined, I think that expedited a process in terms of how quickly I was trying to think about it and do it, because that surgery had been on the books for a while, or the idea of it had been on the books for a while, and kind of seeing the idea that, like, oh, I might not be able to be in that room for a multitude of reasons, but in particular because we're just two people dating, I think made me want to expedite a process, because obviously there's that degree of, like, I don't want to not be there for that. Like, it's important for me to be able to get into that room. And so, that was a huge part of that thought process of, like, trying to make that happen. This is where it went off the rails, but I'd like to say we haven't drank any milk, and we haven't.
I've been sipping beer, but that's more because I'm thirsty than
I haven't touched a single fucking thing. There's going to be
I've had,
no
like-
coughing up anything. Our fucking
I haven't
shout
gone
out
to
to
the
Eddie
milk.
Lopez, one of our close friends. We don't really see him anymore, but shout out to him. And you know what? He sauced those wings like a motherfucker last time. So I
Yeah.
want people to know, like, it wasn't I mean, like,
We're more seasoned vets
we're
now.
more seasoned vets, but, like, let's be honest. We were set up to fail a little bit. All right, cheers.
I have had a few beer sips, but that's more because I'm just kind of thirsty.
Cheers.
That side looks wet in a way I don't want to deal with.
Oh, boy. Pretty immediate.
God, it tastes so bad.
All right. What would you say to Ryan Coogler, who is right now trying to reboot The X-Files? What do you want out of that?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't hate the one they did in like 2020 or whenever it was. I think it could have been worse. I think the first time I watched it, I hated it, and I was like, this isn't as good as the original thing. Fuck that. And then I think the more I watch it, the more I'm like, actually, it does a lot of capturing what the magic of the original X-Files is. Their banter, their dynamic, the like wittiness of it, and not just that, their wittiness with the world and all of it. And so part of me is like, no, leave well enough alone. Is it a reboot with the original cast?
I don't know. Do you want it to be?
Yeah.
Sure. Because you're a Duchovny head. Milk.
I have had milk. Let it be known.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
All right. Wing 9.
I need a moment.
All right.
Okay.
What's this one called?
Dawson's apple
Dawson's.
caraway. Oh my god, it's hitting me really hard. Hold on. I fucking hate the bar. I want this to be known. We have done DeBomb so many times because our friends, our wonderful, stupid fucking friends, want us to try DeBomb, and I apparently have to prove I have balls every single time. It's peaking.
The thing they don't tell you about when you have the bomb is it's kind of like you feel like a sympathy to have to do it with people.
Yeah, and to prove yourself that I can do this.
I still haven't taken anything.
Yeah. Your balls are bigger than mine. I know.
Yeah. All right.
Never.
Taking big bites.
I'm taking pussy bites. I don't care. Okay, hold on, I need a minute. Okay. Okay. You're curating a 3-feature Hooptober screening lineup. What theater are you showing it in? What's on the bill? And who's doing the Q&A after?
Oh wow. For those that don't know, Hooptober is a thing on Letterboxd. Shout out to Letterboxd. Curated by a guy named Cinemonster. Shout out to Cinemonster. And it is basically a 31-day horror marathon with a lot of like very specific parameters set up within it. And it's a really great way. I highly recommend anyone do it, just even a speculative horror fan, because you get to kind of set your own guidelines and boundaries. And I think that's a really neat way to like have to navigate the world of genre. This is where I would like go through my letterbox, but you know, my phone's shooting this thing, so I can't do that. I'm just gonna make it up. Yeah, let's go. Where am I doing it? I'm doing it at the Frida Cinema. Fucking shout out to Trevor and all those guys. One of the best movie theaters in the SoCal region. Just the best. God, how do you do that? I feel like you would want to go kind of like, it's hard to not just be like, well, I would just like want John Carpenter to like we pick 3 of his movies and he does it. But I don't feel like that's a particularly good answer, even though he is kind of the guy you want to talk at the end of it. I think you have to go for like, I always go Hello Mary, Prom Night 2, Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. Scratch that, reverse it. Which is incredible, just a crazy movie. I would go a movie called Legend of Boggy Creek, which is kind of a Sasquatch type of film, which I think is like really underrated, like particularly well done. Just has like kind of all the trappings of a movie that's like extremely not found footage, but like just you're like, where did you find? You clearly
It's documentary style.
It's documentary style. Like all the people that are in it, you're like, you just found these people in some podunk town for sure. I mean, like, and that part almost makes it a little horrifying. And actually, you know what? Maybe I don't do that, and it's just sequels. Maybe I just go crazy sequels because I would love. I mean, I think you and I agree. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 fucking whips. It's like so underrated. I feel like, you know, nothing can be the original, which is one of the 10 greatest movies ever made, but like that's a good one. Maybe those are my 3, but that's just like a peek into the psyche, I guess. I don't really know whether or not there's a theme there. I'll also give a shout out too, because I've been recommending it to a lot of people, and I know this is going to be like a letterboxd eye roll, but like Perfect Blue, we just watched recently, like a 90s anime, which is just like truly at the end of it felt like I needed to take a bath. How those 4 movies fit together, they really fucking don't at all, actually, I'm realizing, but...
Who's doing the Q&A?
Who's doing the Q&A? It's a great question. I feel like I would love whoever did the effects stuff on Prom Night 2 to come in, because there's a sequence with a carousel horse like prop thing that's like truly one of the most insane things I've ever seen, and I feel like I would want to hear a little bit about that. But yeah, otherwise fucking John Carpenter. Like, he doesn't have to give a shit about any of his movies. I'll just talk to him about fucking video games and the NBA, and how he just doesn't need to work ever again. It's great. All right, Tapley, it's tradition around here to put a little bit extra on the last wing. You don't have to if you don't want to.
No, I will. We got a lot of shit for not last time.
Yep, we're going to get to that here in a second. I'm going to go, I think I like it when people put a little on the thing.
That's what I would like to do.
And just a little rub. There you go.
The bomb is still ruining my life.
Yeah. Well, I just listened to a bunch of random fucking horror movies. That is not a lot. Come on, look what I fucking did. Just
okay, well, that's his personal choice.
Match my freak a little bit. All right.
I matched your freak.
All right. Ready?
Just try to get more on there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not ready. That's so much. Okay, mine has little hairs.
Rip that bandage off. Okay. It's like so vinegary. So our initial Hot Ones anniversary video currently sits at 33,943 views as of the time of this recording. It was used in Hot Ones promos. It was shared by Sean in the early days of Hot Ones. There is a reason that it has a fucking ton of views. It's not just, I mean, part of that's the algorithm, but it's not like you or I are particularly famous. So the idea that like roughly 33,000 people fucking have seen us eat hot wings is like disturbing. Like, do anything with your lives. But I printed out some of the comments, and I thought we could go through them because some of them are unhinged. We might as well just jump to the beginning one, which is just lots of people defending me. After I handled my cleaning business, I sit down in the shower and just relax for a bit. Also, I like there to be just barely enough light for me to not slip and die. Shouts to you at RenalSup2268. Feel no shame. Sitting in the shower is great. Congrats on 1 year. Can't wait to see the hot 2-year anniversary next year. Sorry to you, Ted Shepard. If that's the Ted Shepard I actually know, shouts to you. I too sit in the shower, not shit.
What?
Not.
Whoa!
Not shit.
CJ.
That's not anything we're doing.
I'm moving out if that's the case.
I too sit in the shower. Grizzly Baird 76 says 8 years ago. I sit in the shower too. I would have had the same reaction you did. That's rad. It is rad. At Grownip. All right, here we go. How is taking 1 or 2 bites out of a wing considered eating it? And then someone, that's to Dre Brown 8510. Eat my whole ass, you fucking idiot. Simon Bertard 7878 says microbites, and then a question thinking emoji. Would you like to address Simon Bertard?
Yeah, I would. It's called Our Friend Eddie Sauced the Wings Too Much. Clearly, this is much calmer than last time. I took much bigger bites. I still pussied out a little over here, but not really.
Here's one
no, I won't.
Here's one that says, from Pacemaker TM, and I hope you have a pacemaker. So, I don't know what that means. So, knocking off someone else's content is okay if you call it parody. I just want to address that one real quick, because people are in here going, Hot Ones gave them a shout out, so I don't think they mind. They asked for permission and mentioned it several times in the description of the video, and then they just go, my apologies. It is your apologies, you bitch. Like,
it's called an homage. Like,
it's called an homage.
We're paying tribute to something we love.
Oh, it's like in the back of my throat. Who cares? Like, how do you think Hot Ones got to be so big? Because people were out here fucking doing the thing we're doing. You dumb idiot. All right. These are ones that you can directly do. This one's to Jay Poppington, 1631. Tapley's a cutie pie. Everything will...
I'm married now.
8 years ago, everything will be awk. So thirsty.
I was. I drank a lot of milk and a lot of water in the last
Next
one.
person says incredibly parched.
At the most parched. I
Next
typically
person,
am.
Gantz, is sloppy, says, listen, it gives a timestamp, 1802, if you want to go back to the old video. Listen to the sexy sounds of Tapley to quench your thirst. And then how about Troppo Dude? Troppo Dude coming in going milky water chili. Still good.
I was about to take a sip of milk.
Milky water chili, still good. What the fuck that means? And I think the
I'm
one...
sorry, you know exactly what milky water chili means.
And the one to end on, I think, is Mr. Polofsky says, I honestly thought that he was going to propose to her on the last question. Still cute, though. Really nice. I'm planning on doing this with a close friend of mine soon. Someone else goes, question 10 wasn't a proposal. Ball dropped. And someone says, seriously, question 10 wasn't a proposal. Ball dropped. Has 30 upvotes. And so I think we're pleased to say...
We made it to 10 years.
Married motherfuckers. And no
10
fucking
years.
drinks. So
I did. I had milky water chili coming out my nose.
Yeah, milky water chili, bitch.
I drank about half the milk and a couple sips of water, and the beer was mostly I was just, drinking beer. These were pretty pleasant.
Yeah. Anything we want to say to the people? This camera, this camera, this camera. Tell the people what you got going on in your lives.
I want to say thank you, Sean Evans, for inspiring some crazy choices.
Shouts to Chris Schoenberg.
Yeah, crazy choices we've made in our life so far. I don't know, eventually I'm going to be trying to publish a book here soon. Probably look to social media for that. My name is Tapley Eaton. I don't know, something will be somewhere, because you have to have a TikTok or something to sell a book these days. I don't know, look for that. It's fantasy romance. All you. Floor is yours.
Yeah, check out merrygroundmagazine.com, and shouts to Dirty Dicks Hot Sauce Tropical Twist. One of the best hot sauces I've ever had, only found because of this show. So thank you so much. And shouts to all the people behind the camera right now, Devyn, Joe, Matt. Huge thanks to Matt.
Thank you for Emily for letting us shoot at her place.
And here we are. Maybe in 5 years we'll do it again.
Woo! I still feel the bomb. But I don't want to throw up this time, which is nice.